Hi everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm going to show you guys how to do a sugar skull or candy skull today. It's kind of my version of a less pristine, kind of messier candy skull look, and I'm no artist, so the messiness kind of comes naturally. But this particular style of skull is inspired by one of my favorite makeup artists, Allison Loves JB. I really like most of her work, but particularly for candy skulls, there's a lot of different kinds of versions of skulls out there you can find to be creative with. I had a lot of fun creating this particular look, and I hope you guys do too if you decide to try it. I am talking to my videographer slash friend in this particular video, so that's why I'm kind of looking like I'm talking to myself in some parts of the video. I promise I'm not a crazy person. There is someone I'm talking to. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the movie. Bye. So first, I'm taking a white face paint from a Halloween kit and applying it to my face. As you can see, I tried to use a little sponge and applicator that came with it, even with some water on the product, but those didn't work out, so a foundation brush or paintbrush will work much better. Now I'm just taking a nude lipstick and applying it on the inside of my lip for a lighter lip shade and hollow effect, and then just applying white all over it again and blending that in. Next, take a black pencil and outline the circles around your eyes. Make sure the circles are big enough to go over your eyebrows. This took me a little while to do because I wanted perfect circles, which really isn't necessary, but this gives me an opportunity to bring up a little history of the sugar skull. In terms of meaning, the skull symbolizes death, but in a positive manner. Specifically in Mexico, it is believed that death is not the final stage in one's life, but rather a step forward into a higher level of consciousness. Another cool thing to know is that different symbols actually used in the creation of the sugar skull can mean different things, specifically in regards to the Mexican heritage. I got to learn a lot about what different art styles truly symbolize throughout the creation of this video, and I'm even more appreciative of being able to share this with you guys. Next, I'm going in with one of my favorite pomade products from VD in the color Graphite, and I'll use that for this next part with an angled brush to draw out flowers that kind of look like lotuses. I chose the lotus because it's the national flower of my parents' and ancestors' roots, Bangladesh, which is a pretty unique country with really good food, located on the other side of the world where my grandparents and some other family members live. Anyway, so that's kind of why we drew the circles over the eyebrows, because the highest petals will make that lotus shape be more clear. Another fun fact to know relating to the history I gave a minute ago about sugar skulls is that flowers are actually a symbol of life, so that's neat. On the bottom, I just did 3 leaves to kind of show some version of a lily pad, but I'm sure you artists out there can do a much better job of that. But yeah, you can be messy with this part. There will be an opportunity in the future where we get to clean things up. Now just take that white face paint from the beginning and pack it on around the eyes to kind of reset the canvas again for the rest of your sugar skull. Now I'm just taking my e.l.f. eye primer and filling in each of my petals to set the base for our colors. And then taking a flat brush and spreading that product out. Now I'm taking the white highlighter shade from the NYX contour palette and setting it as a powder on the white part of my face. Next, we color. So first I'm taking a base shade of purple and applying it on the first third of the petals with a flat rounded brush. Now I'm going to take a hot pink tone and apply that on the outer third of the petals. It's okay if you're outside the lines for this one because we'll cover those parts up later.
Perfect.
Next, I took a burnt orange color and applied that right in the middle of the other 2 colors, and start just blending it into the hot pink a little as you're doing this. And for all the color application, I'm just using a rounded pencil brush. Now I'm just going in with the shimmery purple to put on top of that base purple we applied in the beginning because that was a little too light and I want it to pop like the other colors we have. Now just take a skinny fluffy brush and blend the colors together. Next, just take a light green shade and apply that in the first half of the lower petals to establish that lily pad green look. And then a darker green on the other half and just blending those 2 colors in as well. Now just take a liquid liner and outline those petals. This is where you can clean up your petals and recreate the final shapes.
Perfect.
And I didn't really like how thick I applied it to the lower petals, so I added some primer to erase it and applied that purple color and outline again. But yeah, that's the finished flowers, which is probably the most time-consuming part of this look, so the rest is pretty easy. Now I'll just take that same pomade and fill in the black around the flowers inside the circles, cleaning up the randomness a little. And take this as another opportunity to add some white around the eyes and clean up any black spots as well. This next part, I just lined my tight line to add that extra boldness to the look off camera because it's too hard to do on camera. You can add accents to your flowers if you'd like. I took my liquid liner and just applied 2 lines to give more life to the flowers, since that's what they mean after all. Now comes the nose, so just draw a teardrop shape on the tip of your nose first. And then extend that teardrop alongside your nostrils to get that skeleton nose going. And then just taking that same pomade again and filling in the nose. Now we're going to go in with a black pencil to outline the jaw area of the sugar skull. This part was a little tricky. You want to make sure you create that obvious bend in the cheeks to show the literal bone structure of the jaw, to give it more of that lifelike skull look. And then just take any black eyeshadow you have and dust it over that line to give it more depth and clean up the thickness a little. Now just take your finger and do a sweeping motion down from that line to cause a hollow look. Lastly, just take a blending brush and blend it out to give it a nice finish. Then with the pomade, I gave myself some stitches and went back with liquid liner to add some circles to the end of the stitches because I like cute rather than scary. Now for the teeth. Some makeup artists do some really cool teeth styles out there, but for this one I wanted to focus more on my eyes, so I just went with my inspo and did some lines over my lips to cover this feature. Now just take some black eyeshadow and brush it over the inside of your lips. This just gives yet another hollow effect. Now I'm just taking a pink liquid liner and drawing some random dots around my eyes. So many options. This is the final drawing piece for my look, and it's the cobweb. And like flowers symbolize life, cobwebs symbolize death. So I'm just drawing 5 lines and connecting them through half circles with my liquid liner. And just brush that liner out with my angled brush, and finally outline the cobweb one more time with my liquid liner. But yeah, I thought this was a good last addition to just remember the living and the dead in one look. And I wanted some blue in my sugar skull, so I added little wispies to my cobweb with blue liquid liner, just pushing it out to give it a more brushed finish. Last but not least are gemstones to add some 3D vibes. So I just added some to my cobwebs and 1 on my nose and 3 on my forehead and called it a day. Add some mascara if you'd like to make your eyes look more open, and that's basically it, guys. I hope you liked this look and use your own creativity to have fun with it like I did. The product list and references to the history will be available in the description below. But please like and subscribe if you liked my video, and I hope to share more with you in the future.